So before I start, I want to give an intro of what I was doing and what is this presentation about. Basically, I was reviewing the new project page and the parts of the new project page and trying to figure out a strategy that would be optimal for implementing it. And from the very high level of from the very high level perspective, I think we can identify two like distinct deliverable parts, and one is let's say the project page without the tasks, which would include all the usual stuff like descriptions, milestones, all the links, all the resources, all the activity fees, check-ins, basically everything except basically the tasks. And the good thing about this is that this part seems very straightforward. There are basically ready APIs for this, and I think we can deliver it very fast. And just from the user's perspective, why this chunk of work would make sense. Like, this already unifies the view between goals and projects. It makes it easier to manage milestones because you're creating them inline. All the other data management, like the start dates, the end dates, the check-in is displayed on the top of the page. So basically, it improves a lot of things, and most of them are straightforward. So that is the reason why I feel that we need to isolate this piece of work and deliberate on it or execute on it in a very efficient manner. While the tasks are a different beast, because I was looking at the database, yeah, we have tasks, but I'm not sure if they will fit the data structure as we expect. So, which means that we would need to create new APIs, probably some data migrations, some handling. It is getting messier and messier when you get to that. So it feels like it should be a separate unit. So maybe to comment on this, on the high level, I'm aiming for us to be able to deliver this page completely, with the projects and tasks and everything ready for our customers by September 1st. That would be ideal. But I also want to raise that question, what it would take to do it, let's say 2 times faster. What are the blockers? Can we eliminate some of the stuff that takes up a lot of time and delivers maybe not so much benefits? Or is there a blocker that we could eliminate and then get it to let's say August 15th? I have some ideas how we can do this, but the first step is just to see what are the limits of, let's say, a typical prompt that could drive the beginning of this development. And I have some good news related to that. But yeah, let's go into the review part and just to comment on some things. So I took the props from the UI part and I reviewed it. Everything looks very straightforward, very similar to what we have in the goal page, which is great because our API integration is very easy to connect with those stuff. So basically, based on this, I mapped out these are the API endpoints that we should have to support, let's say, the first part of the release. And most of these are ready. So project milestones, mostly ready. Project resources, I think, completely ready. The projects, the getting and editing some parts, they are mostly ready and mostly useful. Now I added some different emojis to some. They are ready, but they need to be tweaked. But still, I feel that this is 90% done. And just to prove that this is like not a hard task to integrate the rest of the things except tasks, I took basically an LLM, gave it the context. I gave it this context of what are the types. I gave it how the goal page was implemented, our public API, and it was able to get me to a point where I would have the page and like lots of things would work. And this is already in production. So let me show you on an example. Let's see, I can open this and then we can go to the V2 part. So like description is there. These things are already editable. These things do not work, but they are just not connected. Contributors need some love, but like it's a good start. And this is also editable if I'm correct. Let's try to do this and see. Yeah, this is completely working. So I feel that most of these things will be very simple, like these also work. But the biggest bottleneck right now in like progressing with LLMs is actually a nagging issue that we had for a while. I think for, let's say, for 2-3 weeks. I was kind of ignoring it, but now it is getting super on my nerves and actually becoming a complete blocker while developing the new project page. And that is this problem when you open the page in development. So this is specifically in development. You get 500 and like you cannot do anything to see this. And this is related to the combination of how modules are loaded in development and how TipTap interacts with, or how TipTap is adding like the so-called plugins, and it is complaining that it is adding them 2 times. So something is loaded 2 times and executed 2 times, and then this TipTap controller is just breaking. And this usually wasn't a problem because like this only happens if you have elements like these on the page that are, so this is not a good example, but maybe I can find another one that is, let's say, I think this one doesn't have a description. So yeah, if you have these that are like immediately editable, this thing is breaking the local development. And I've been trying to fix it, like even last week, because I had occasionally these problems on some pages, but after a refresh, it was gone. But now I'm like completely stuck. So the biggest blocker for, let's say, developing and delivering this is actually this, to be able to use it in development. And then LLMs are doing quite a lot of work, and I think that they are able to generate quite a lot of things that we don't need to tinker about or write from scratch. Now, one other problem to notice apart from these tasks, and the tasks, I think in the tasks, the biggest thing is actually the new comment section, because we don't have a system that efficiently supports event feed and comments in the same place, so that will probably take a lot of time to implement. The other thing is this, like notification or subscription settings on the level of the project. We don't currently have that. I specifically pointed this out because this is definitely not my specialty area, but this will take time to implement. But I think that Adriano is very good at these sorts of problems. So hopefully it's not a super blocker. So taking everything into account, and let's say that this problem is solvable. Let's say if we can give it a day of debugging, because I think it requires a day of debugging, or I already spent like a good amount of time trying to fix it. If we solve this, I'm very confident that we can do this first part, maybe accept the notifications in like, I don't want to overstep, but maybe like even next week we should have this and maybe even delivered to users. Like this is the optimistic timeline, and the optimistic timeline would mean that let me jump to the next month. So let's say that we can do it by 6th of August. So this would be 6th of August. Which means that we would have like a week and a half till the half month. That will be a very tight squeeze. But yeah, I really want to figure out if there is a good chance to do this. When I say is there a good chance, like what can we eliminate from the workload to get to this happy path on August 15th? Or what are the parts that we can deliver and maybe, prolong the execution of, let's say, notifications for the later 2 weeks, which are important, but not as important as shipping the goal page. So I would say that is everything from me. So to recap, this is the biggest problem. If we could solve this, I think this would be even done by the end of the week, maybe, because LLM can do lots of stuff. Then we need a judgment from Adriano about this. And I wouldn't touch this until next week because lots of stuff to open there. So let me know your thoughts.